What if all teams in Formula 1 had the Mercedes engine? Well, to find out, I'm going to be jumping on F1 2020, and I've modified the game to give all the teams exactly the same engine. So performance-wise, they're completely identical. Even sound-wise, absolutely identical. Everyone's got the same engine. I've not changed anything else, though. All the downforce level, suspension, all that sort of stuff is exactly the same, but their engine is identical to the Mercedes engine. That's everyone from Red Bull right down to Alfa Romeo. Every single team has got the exact same engine, including Ferrari. I'm sure they would have quite liked that in the 2020 season. But I'm interested to see how close this makes it, because the AI do adapt quite well to increased engine power, as most of them will now have. So someone like McLaren, who of course ran the Renault engine up until the end of 2020, they will have it 2021. That's sort of a test for them, really, to see how much closer they would get with the engine. So let's jump into a qualifying around Silverstone. Here we go then, qualifying around Silverstone. I'm using the Red Bull engine, as you can hear. Definitely the Mercedes engine sounds nothing like the Red Bull engine, but interestingly on paper the Red Bull is very, very similar to the Mercedes. Oh, a little bit deep there. Very, very similar cars. The only difference really is the engine, or the biggest difference I should say is the engine. There is other minor differences, but they are minor. Downforce levels, for example, absolutely identical in this game. It's just really the engine that's the big performance differentiator. Of course, you know, suspension and that sort of thing are going to be a little bit different, but actually it's mainly just engine, I believe, that makes a big difference. So let's see how close. We're actually down in 8th. Look how close we are to Bottas. And we're still down in 8th place. 10th place. Look at this. We're only, what, half a second behind Bottas. Up to 9th now. Interestingly gaining a little bit in a straight line there. We've got access to, of course, the full Mercedes performance package. Now, gain a few positions there because we were able to be flat through there, as other teams would not have been able to be flat. I'm not very good at these corners for some reason. Magus and Beckett's complex. Decent enough, though. Faster than AI that time. Through there, up to 3rd. So we could well take pole. I wonder who's ahead of us. Must just be Hamilton and Bottas, surely. But I'm most interested in how close the rest of the pack are going to be. And a little bit cautious through there. Didn't want to go off track. Still in 3rd, though, actually. Looks like the gap's widened out a bit. I think Magus and Beckett's complex really just showed the teams with more downforce. I think we probably would have been 3rd if we came to the line. We are going to back off now to be at the back of the grid. So let's have a look at what the results are going to be in qualifying. Well, absolutely storming lap from Hamilton to beat Bottas by 3/10. But interestingly, Albon 3rd. Albon doesn't normally perform that well in this game, so that is a good job from him. But look, Lando Norris is the next best car, just 200ths back from Albon. But I think Hamilton's lap, bit of an outlier there. That's a bit of a Lewis Hamilton special, getting into the 24s, only man able to do so. So if we ignore him and take Bottas' time as the reference, there's actually only 2/10 between Bottas and Norris. Perez, they of course got the Mercedes engine anyway. Ricardo, right up there. Perez, look how close that field is. It's definitely a closer field from Albon there. 5th, 5/10 down to Carlos Sainz. It's only half a second between a probably slightly slower than they would have otherwise been Red Bull, but down to a McLaren. That includes both Renaults, both McLarens, one racing point, interestingly, both Ferraris. Now they've taken a bit of a leap, one of the AlphaTauris, so definitely closer in qualifying. Let's see how that affects the race. Here we go then, starts from the back of the grid in a Red Bull. We have got a Mercedes engine, but unfortunately so has everyone else. Williams still at the back, so are the Haas is there. So clearly the updated engine, well, it's not going to help the Williams, is it? But it might have helped the Haas, but clearly not in this case. Raikkonen as well, struggling a little bit. Look at the start from Nicholas Latifi, by the way. Storming around the outside. They always go quite slow into the first turn. Bit of oversteer there with the increased power from the Mercedes engine. I'm going to dive the inside of a few here. Why not? They let us do it, so let's go for it. And I don't think anyone's hugely out of position. And to be honest, in this game, can we go on the outside here? Make it 3 wide. Oh, keep it on track just about. We're on the outside of 2 people there. Oh, getting squeezed. We're still 3 wide, though. Going to keep it on track just about. And we're going to get away with that somehow. I don't think there's anyone alongside us, is there? No. Got away with that one. But all the way up to P13 there. And yeah, I thought it might perhaps shake the grid up a little bit more. It just seems to have closed the grid up. I thought perhaps, you know, the Haases, for example, or even the Alfa Romeos would be a little bit further up. They were able to sort of kind of leap up the order, perhaps up ahead of things like a Racing Point. Williams, of course, were always going to remain somewhere around the back, unfortunately for them. But it doesn't seem to have done that. Just sort of compressed the field a little bit. I'm sure Racing Point have lost a little bit of ground, but it's not a huge amount. Don't forget, I found out previously in this game that there's sort of 2 tiers of engines really in the F1 games. There's a Tier 1 and a Tier 2 engine. Mercedes is now the only team in Tier 1, or normally it is. But of course we've now given everyone the same engine. Nice and easy overtake there on the Racing Point, using a little bit too much overtake really. Tries to come back at us, but we've got a Red Bull with plenty of downforce, so we should better keep him at bay. Now, normally the Mercedes would pull away in this race, but looking at the minimap, Albon is sticking right with them. And actually perhaps I should have been Albon, because Verstappen normally does perform a little bit better than Alex Albon, so that would have been a better test. We'll do another race in a moment. We have to do Monza, don't we, just to see how much close that would be if we're doing an engine mod. But for now, let's just see how far we can get through this pack. Carlos Sainz is up ahead. So I do also wonder if I'd perhaps struggle a little bit more because everyone's got a decent engine to overtake. I mean, at the moment that's not necessarily been the case. I got past Lance Stroll actually quite easily. But of course this Red Bull car is normally built to have, well, I was going to say a fair bit of drag, but to be honest, I think in 2020 they didn't have that much drag. But still, they built it to kind of suit the Honda engine. So suddenly I've given it more power. It should be a bit of a beast, really. But, it, you know, perhaps things like traction, it could struggle a little bit under traction zones. Don't know I'm using those to overtake through there. And let's see how it is in dirty air. So you're not losing any ground in a straight line. The Red Bull does normally lose ground to other cars in a straight line, but it's not doing that with the Mercedes engine. Right up behind Carlos Sainz, who's also got the Mercedes engine, when they, of course, actually will have the Mercedes engine next year, McLaren. They're a bit too slow for there. Nice exit, though, to make up for it. Nice and close. Have we got enough overtake to get past them? Unfortunately, looks like Sainz is also using the overtake. We've got a bit of slipstream, though. Looks like we've got quite similar levels of drag. I'm going to try and dive up his inside here. Oh, he squeezed us a lot there. That was a bit unnecessary. We were well alongside you there, Carlos. That was time to give that position up. And I do feel like I'm struggling slightly to get through this pack. I feel like normally I'd be cutting through this pack a little bit quicker because, you know, and that does actually happen. Up against like a racing point, I do struggle a little bit more to get past compared to what I'm normally like up against someone like, yeah, I mean, Ferrari. They're normally relatively easy to get past now in a straight line because they've got quite a draggy car. Going to go for a late lunge there up the inside of Esteban Ocon. Move done. Oh, huge amount of oversteer on the exit though. That's okay. Could try and sit nice and close to Sebastian Vettel so we get some DRS now. Doesn't seem to be making a massive difference at the moment, this engine stuff. Like I said, it's just really just making it, it's just closed the field up very slightly, and it's just made the overtaking slightly harder because everyone's actually pretty quick in a straight line. You know, I imagine the AlphaTauris, for example, they're probably quite a bit quicker in a straight line. Of course, the Red Bull is as well, but, you know, actually the Red Bull just basically becomes Mercedes. So, you know, they're always a little bit ahead of everyone else anyway, so it doesn't make a huge difference. That's if we can keep this flat. Yeah, that was a nice line. Should be flat, nice and easy. Job done now, nice and close to Vettel. We're one of the few that can keep it flat through there. The others seem to be struggling a little bit more for a lack of downforce. Try and stick it nice and close. Oh, understeer though in the dirty air. Kept it quite close to Vettel. Can we use the last of our overtake and get him? Looks like we are going to be able to. Yeah, we're going to go on the outside here, I think. Bit of battling up ahead. I'm going to try and outbrake Vettel here. Yeah, no problem. Take our apex. Playing more downforce than the Ferraris. They're still side by side ahead. They're going to be slowing each other down now. Into this next section. He's trying to get past them ASAP. Come on, Lachelle, you can do it. You can do it. He's done it, but we've just lost a bit of time there. Oh, they're still side by side. Normally, this wouldn't be happening so much, interestingly. So having the same engine seems to have actually helped the AI battle a little bit there. We're now just going to get past Gasly, I suspect, on the brakes. No. Gasly brakes quite late there. Still got a Ferrari on outside. Squeeze him out on the exit. And just trying to stick with Gasly now, but there's going to be a bit of a gap up ahead. So I think we'll get through Gasly, and then we'll pretty much call time on the race. Well, there we go then. As predicted, I did just stay where I was. Wasn't able to close in on the cars ahead in that short lap that we had there. And interestingly, Alex Albon got the fastest lap of the race that time, a 26.7. Very marginally, a few hundredths quicker than the Mercedes boys, and also remained only just 2 seconds back. Other than that, it's hard to judge if it kind of kept the field close, but for now then, let's get into Monza because, you know, engine mod, it has to be Monza. Let's see how close it makes around Monza if everyone's got the exact same Mercedes engine. Just before we get into Monza, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the big red button down below. It does really genuinely help a channel my size. During 2021, we're going to try and hit 100k subs by the end of the year. We've got a long way to go, and it can't be done without your guys' support. So please do hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into Monza. Monza qualifying there once again, another stonking lap by Lewis Hamilton, 2 tenths up on everyone else. Verstappen was the nearest challenger, interestingly, ahead of Valtteri Bottas, which I don't think would have happened if he didn't have the Mercedes engine, not around Monza. But other than that, it's not that close. The Renault is actually a very low drag car in this game, and they're actually 4 tenths back, even from Max Verstappen, 6 tenths back from Lewis Hamilton. So not a tight field in qualifying in Monza, but behind them it is pretty tight though. It has tightened at the midfield, 6 tenths, even there 8 tenths. Then 9, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. So it is pretty tight behind them. But let's get into the race now to see how many cars we can get through with a Mercedes engine and a Red Bull car. There we go. So once again, the Williamses are at the back. They, of course, haven't actually really had an engine change. Whereas the Haas, still in front of them, have had an engine change. Still struggling at the back. But anyway, let's see if we can have a good enough launch. Oh, a bit too much wheel spin, really. Short shifts. Try and dull that wheel spin away a little bit if I can. Up to overtake ERS. We've got to be everybody side by side. Everyone, of course, having the same engine power on the run down to the first turn. No way through there. Going to try on the outside instead as Latifi once again. Whoa, Grosjean deciding he wants to come to the outside. Was about to go around the outside of him there. Being nice and courteous now on the first turn. Only actually ended up getting one position. Oh, turned overtake on a little bit too early there. Bit of wheel spin. And once again, Latifi having a great start. We got a little bit boxed in there. Didn't want to dive at the inside too much. Now let's see how hard it is going to be to get past these guys when they've all got the same engine. I mean, not on lap 1, it's not going to be because they all break so early into there. Whoa, I think I got hit there. So we'll do a little flashback for that one. We'll just do it from here-ish. That'll do. I think I got hit there. I'm not too sure. We'll do the same thing again because, oh God, I say same thing. We've just taken an extra car. They break so early into there on lap 1. But anyway, let's ignore that. We're now got up to P16. Kimi Raikkonen's going to be up next. This Red Bull car is so nice, by the way. So planted through the corners. Oh, I would actually say in this game, the Red Bull car feels a little bit better. So with a Mercedes engine, it would be an absolute beast in this game, I would suggest. Closing up to Kimi Raikkonen now. Interestingly, still gaining on him in a straight line. The Alfa Romeo must be a little bit draggy in this game. We should have plenty more downforce though through this midsection through Ascari. Going to try and get him now on the exit. Oh, almost contact there. Very close indeed. Use all my overtakes. I want to try and get up to Giovinazzi if I can as well. Should be able to do him, surely. Surely. We've got to go for it. Oh, bit deep. Going to regret that. I've just lost a load of time. Now I need to work a little bit to get back up to Sebastian Vettel. Here we go then, one lap later. Max Verstappen's just putting a fastest lap of the race, interestingly. We now managed to get onto the back, more or less, of Sebastian Vettel. And we don't get a fast lap of the race, interestingly. But we are now on the back of Vettel. Let's see where we can get him. I do definitely think it's harder to make your way through the field with this. And I don't think that's just down to engine power. Because, of course, in the Red Bull, normally, you know, I've got less power than now. So I've got more power. Stands to reason it'd be easier to overtake. But actually, I think in this particular case, what's actually happening is we're not seeing much battling for the cars ahead. There's less performance differences between the engine. So we're not really seeing any battling. No one's slowing each other down by battling too much. And so everyone's just running quickly, particularly at the start of the race. Normally I'm able to quite comfortably get through to, well, I mean, easily the top 10, if not even higher, even without taking some silly moves against the AI with a you know, front performing car. Ooh, bit wide there. But that's just not happening today. I just can't do it. I can't get through, and it must just be because they're not battling. They've all just got the same engine. So it's interesting. You kind of expect it to make the racing a little bit better in some ways. But of course, everyone having the same engine, there's just less disparity between all the cars and less excitement, I guess, straight up. There's just less excitement going on. But anyway, we saved up a bit of ERS now, so we're going to have a go at Sebastian Vettel down this next straight. We need to have a nice Ascari if we can. Not Ascari, what's it called? Parabolica if we can. Up to Rich, if I can get the buttons right. Going to use some overtake down here to see if we can get past one, maybe two, but actually we're not going to have enough straight line speed, I don't think. Look at this. All the overtake in the world, still not really able to just 3, 4, 5 kilometers an hour. We had to use all of our overtake just to get to there. Oh my god. Okay, we've accidentally taken a double move there. It'll do. So they are slowing each other down a little bit now. A little bit of battling, slowing each other down. That was, I mean, it was legal, but, you know, probably a little bit over-aggressive, and probably in real life would have resulted in quite a large crash. But anyway, it's a game, so we got away with it. Now we need to catch up to these guys ahead. Well, actually, they're going to be battling. Look, so this is what I mean. Look how slow they are. Of course, it's exaggerated in the game. In real life, they wouldn't be that slow when they battle, because they give each other too much room, in the AI do. So they battle for much longer than they would do in real life. But it would still apply to real life. You know, battling cars are slower than non-battling cars. Simple as that. I'm not going to use any overtake. There's no point down here. Look at this. I'm not going to be able to get... Look at this. Absolute traffic jam. Look at this. 3 wide into Ascari. Are you mad, Leclerc? It goes a little bit deep. Oh, we'll slow each other down now. Whoa, bit of oversteer there. That was absolutely insane. That wouldn't normally happen, interestingly. So I don't wonder what it was that caused that. Of course, Perez hasn't really had an engine change. So he should be about the same speed. We're going to try and go on his outside here with our Red Bull car. Outbraking massively. Get on the power quite early. Yep, nice performance there from the Red Bull downforce. Just got one more lap to go. 2 cars ahead battling. Are we going to be able to take advantage of this slipstream? We're going to get double slipstream and fly past both of them. Maybe. Gasly hasn't got DRS, so this could work out beautifully for us and propel us up to P8 in this race. Oh, bit of contact. Whoa, we're 3 wide. A bit of contact. Trying to get it all slowed down. Wow, that was a bit, well, cagey, should we say, there. 3 wide coming to the braking zone, bit of contact, bit of oversteer at over 300 kilometers an hour, but we got through it, and that puts us up to P8 in this race. Well, Max Verstappen won Monza. That almost certainly would not have happened if they had their normal Honda engine. So clearly it's helped Red Bull, as we knew it would. Very, very close on it. Just 7/10 covers top 3, but of course 2 of those top 3 would have had the Mercedes engine. Anyway, I mentioned before this race that Ocon and Ricciardo, the Renault cars, have got very low downforce, and they use that to good effect around Monza to go 4th and 5th. We weren't even able to get up to P8. Once again, just showing there that I do believe that it's harder to overtake. You know, everyone's got the same engine, but of course, even normally with a Red Bull, I've normally got a worse engine, so I thought it might help me in a Red Bull to be quite dominant. But actually, it just meant that because everyone's got the same engine, nobody else is overtaking, which means there's no battling and no one's slowing each other down. Everyone's actually running at a fairly decent pace, and the 5-lap average pace over the course of that race was quite high, and enabled me to, well, just not really get through the field very quickly. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, if you want to try this mod for yourself and you've got F1 2020 on PC, if you join Gillen Gang Premium, press the join button down below. You will get full access to this mod and all the other mods that I use in my videos. You get full access there. Just press the join button down below. It should all be nice and obvious. Other than that, don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and I thank you for watching. Bye bye.